Um, oh, no, now we're good.
Okay. All right, we are ready to go.
Okay, let's do a quick buzzer check. Yes, we have not done the buzzer check, so let's start over here and go. Okay, great.
All right, first question. One waterway in this city is passed over by the Billings and Herdman's bridges, and it's not in the UK, but those bridges in this city shelter a flock of royal swans. A canal in this city was built to bypass the Hog's Back Falls on an eponymous river, which was named by Samuel Champlain for its resemblance to a curtain. The oldest continually operated canal in North America is located in the city and turns into the world's largest naturally freezing ice rink every winter. The Rideau Canal flows through. That is correct, and that was for 4 points. Next question. Pottery from this island dating prior to the 12th century is said to be of the Shell Midden period. This island originated taco rice from a United States Marine Corps base called Camp Hansen. This island's Shuri Castle suffered heavy damage during a 1945 battle named for this island, where Naha was once the capital. No. That is correct, and that was for 5 points. Next question. Boniface Bibi Mamali and Mishaki Muyongo led a conflict for the secession of this region where attacks occurred at Katima Malilo. This panhandle region was home to the Ntenji Bantustan, which was meant to be a homeland for the Masabia people. German Southwest Africa was able to reach the Zambezi River. That is correct for 5 points. Next question. The Han Dynasty era Beihai Commandery was located in what is now this peninsula's Shanglu County, and the oldest of China's existing Great Walls runs from this peninsula's Shangxing district. During the scramble for China, the German Empire took control of the Qiushu Bay leased territory of this peninsula, and its port of Weihiwei was annexed by the UK. For the points, name this peninsula where Japan annexed Qingdao during World War I, sparking the May 4th movement. Time, it was Shandong Peninsula. So question 4 went done. Next question. This U.S. state is home to a lodge designed by Gilbert Stanley Underwood, which was built between 1924 and 1925 and opened under T.E. Fitzgerald. The Under the Rim Trail in this state was constructed by the Civilian Conservation Corps, and a national park in this state was named for a Scottish missionary who designed the Pine Valley Chapel. For the points, name this U.S. state where Bryce Canyon National. That is correct for 4 points. Next question. Land in this modern state was leased to a New York syndicate via the Treaty of Arameo after it was given to another nation via the Treaty of Ayacucho. The promise of building a railway to link Riberalta and Porto Velho was stated as part of the Treaty of Petropolis, in which this modern state was granted to Brazil. In 2008, this state won a case over the Cunha Gomes line with Amazonas. For the points, name this rubber-rich western Brazilian state which has its capital at Rio Branco. That is correct for 3 points. Next question. This empire's primary cultural identity developed around the ancient city of Kukia, and this realm conquered Kano under its ruler Askia Muhammad. The largest adobe brick building in the world, the Great Mosque, was built atop an earlier mosque from this empire's reign in the city of Janneh. For the points, name this Muslim empire of West Africa during the 15th. Incorrect, that would be -2. And 16th centuries governed from Gao in modern day Mali. Time, it's the Songhai Empire.
Close.
That was the same name. I said Mali Empire. Okay. Next question. From 1815 to 1848, this city named a Grand Duchy that had a majority Slavic population but was ruled by the German House of Hohenzollern. During World War II, this settlement was the seat of the Nazi-controlled Warthegau, which was named for the nearby Warta River. This city's historic town hall was the site of 2 speeches by Heinrich Himmler in which he directly referenced the Holocaust. For the points, name this largest city of Greater Poland, which lies south of Pomerania. Incorrect, that's -2. Incorrect, that's -2. Which lies south of Pomerania and north of Silesia. Incorrect, that's -1. Incorrect, that's -1. That would be Poznan or Posen. Next question.
Can you speak a bit louder?
Speaking pretty loud. I will try my best. This mountain was first ascended by a woman in 1910 by Frida Dafar. This is the only place which has its non-English name preceding its English name when considering places that had their names changed via the Nagai Tahu Claims Settlement Act of 1998. John Lort Stokes named this mountain in honor of a British captain who led the first known European visit to the Hawaiian Islands. Possibly seen by Abel Tasman. For the points, what mountain in the Southern Alps is the tallest in?
Rocky.
That is correct, and that was for 4 points. Next question. This city's Annandale neighborhood was the first home of the annual Durand Cup football competition. An agreement signed between India and Pakistan in this city allowed India to retain Chalunka in the Chorbat Valley. Jaku Hill is one of the 7 hills of this city and contains Jaku Temple, and this former city of East Punjab contains the Viceregal Lodge where Lord Dufferin resided. The current capital of Himachal Pradesh for the points.
Shimon?
That is correct for 4 points.
Okay, let's do score check. Okay, current score check. We have Sriram in the lead with 9, Jay with 7, Sanjay with 3, Hanish with 2, everybody else with 0.
All right, we are in question 11. This body of water's Fennet Island was the home of Captain Dick Them's My Toes Barter, who had to amputate his toes due to frostbite. The first white American to see this body of water was John C. Fremont, who named it Lake Bonfland. Incorrect, that's -2. Though John C. Calhoun Johnson would rename it Lake Bigler. Pyramid Lake is the endpoint of the Truckee River, which flows out of this. That is correct for 5 points. Next question. This city, which was declared the capital of the Wei dynasty of the Three Kingdoms, was also retained as capital by their successors, the Jin dynasty. During the rule of the Northern Wei, Emperor Ziwan constructed the Longmen Grottos near this city, which was sacked in 190 CE by Dongzhou. This city served as the capital of the Eastern Han dynasty before the capital was relocated back to Chang'an. For the points, name this historic capital of China in Henan province.
Thank you.
Incorrect, -1. Time, Lu Yang. Next question. During World War I, a hasty German offensive in this historic region was repulsed at the Battle of Gumbinnen, and this region was the site of the Battle of Tannenberg. The former northernmost part of this region, the Memel territory, was put under Entente administration until its annexation by Lithuania. Following World War I, this region was separated from the rest of the country by the Polish corridor. For the points. Incorrect. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, that was correct. And that was for 5 points. It was an alternate answer. Right, next question. A Greek god name for this river is the son of Themis and Electra, and the Dionysa Aka suggests this river lay in the lands of Emperor Darides in Pentopotamia. An event at this river involved Tassicles allying with an army that had just taken the Aronos fortress after traversing the Khyber Pass and may have caused the death of Bucephalus. For the points, name this river in the Punjab where Alexander the Great won a bloody victory over the Indian king Porus.
Yes.
Incorrect, -1. Time, it's the Hydaspes River. Next question. Martyrs Day. Excuse me? We're on question 15. Martyrs Day remembers 1964 riots over this region, which were sparked by a ripped flag. This region's Coco Solo Naval Air Station was the birthplace of John McCain. Balboa was the capital of this region, which was formerly dissolved by the Torrijos-Carter treaties. Created with the signing of the Hay Benau-Varia Treaty. For the points, what territory was granted to the United States and surrounded a structure linking the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans? That is correct for 3 points. Question 16. Yes.
Yeah, I'll give you score check. Jay has 11, Sriram has 10, Sanjay has 7, Hanish has 2, Mason and Srinivasan no score.
And we're in question 16. In 1912, a massacre against striking goldfield workers took place near this river at Bodebo. According to several folk tales, the area around this river was explored by Demid Pianda, who sailed up the Nizhnyaya Tunguska River and established the town of Karinsk. During one expedition, George W. DeLong and his crew were forced to use smaller boats to traverse through the delta of this river after the sinking of the USS Jeannette. For the points, name this great Siberian river which may have inspired the alias of the Soviet Union's founder. That is correct. So that would be for 3 points. Just under the wire. Question 17. A Scottish whaler created a station at Murray's Bay on this island where the Maturo Kramat is a site for Muslim pilgrimage. Jean van Riebeck gave orders to light bonfires on this island's Minto Hill in order to alert VOC ships in the vicinity. This island contains the Bluestone Quarry and Robert Sobukwe's home, where an anti-apartheid leader lived. For the points, name the South African island. That is correct for 4 points. Number 18. A conflict over toll and free bridges over this river was sparked by construction plans for a bridge between Durant and Denison. From around the 12th century until the 1830s, this river and the Atchafalaya were blocked by a log jam called the Great Raft, which Henry Miller Shreve worked to clear. Opposite banks of this river are home to Bossier City and Shreveport, forming the border between Oklahoma and Texas. That is correct, and that was for 4 points. Number 19. The Rajahnat of Bhutan was a Hindu-Buddhist state on this island, which radiated influence through the modern Karaga region and was located along the Agusan River. The Sultanate of Sulu controlled some of the coastal areas of the Zamboanga Peninsula on this. That is correct for 5 points. Question 20. People who were executed on the Gemonian stairs were thrown into this river, into which the subject of the cadaver synod, Pope Formosus, was also cast. The phrase to cross this river was a historical euphemism for converting to Catholicism. The naval base of Ostia was developed along this river, which allowed the import of wheat from the Mediterranean. For the points, name this river upon which Romulus and Remus were abandoned. That is correct for 4 points. Score check.
Thing. Sriram with that buzz goes into the lead again with 18. Jay has 16. Sanjay at 10. Hanish at 6. No score for Mason or Srinivas.
Okay, and we are
tight game. 10 to go.
Yes. Question 21. An ancient wall in the city along a historic foot road is called the Hatun Ramayok and is home to an artifact known as the 12-Angle Stone. The northern outskirts of the city are home to a citadel known as the Ruins of the Royal Hawk, or Sacsayhuman. This city is home to the Coricancha Temple, which was dedicated to the sun god Inti. Trips to Machu Picchu typically depart from for the points. That is correct for 4 points. Question 22. Charles Conan Bonnet gave free health care to this city's residents following a crisis involving the Provo koala. A president names this city's Felix Hopefert Boani Stadium, which is nicknamed La Felicia. This city's St. Paul's Cathedral was dedicated by... Incorrect, that's -2. Pope John Paul II during a trip in which he laid the foundation for a basilica in Yamamasokoro. For the points, name this most populous city. That is correct for 4 points. Question 23. An Alabama county named for a battle won by this figure is home to a ghost town on the Black Warrior River with a name taken from a standard used by this figure, Eagleville. The date of this figure's birth is inscribed on a plaque on the Rue Saint Charles in Ajaccio. A monument in the Dome of Les Invalides contains this person's remains, which were returned from St. Helena. For the points, name this French. That is correct for 4 points. Number 24. In his book, In the South Seas, Robert Louis Stevenson described his visit to the kingdom of Abanama in this country, where the leader, Banaka, attempted to take Mena and Nunati. During World War II, this country was the site of the battles of Macon and Tarawa. In 1974, that is correct for 5 points. Question 25. This city's Balen prison was where the president of Blows punished inmates. Jose Maria Pino Suarez was assassinated in the.
Lisbon.
Repeat?
Lisbon.
That is incorrect. -2. In the 10 tragic days in this city, which is crossed by the Paseo de la Reforma. In 1847, Winfield Scott faced Santa Anna at this city's Chapultepec Castle. Originally, that is correct for 5 points.
Okay, quick score check at 25. Jay now has 25, Sriram has 18, Sanjay has 12, Anish has 6, Mason has 5, and Srinivasan has 2.
Question 26. Traders passing through the Kedah Sultanate on this body of water were given tax collections for goods to be transported to Langkosuka and Kelantan. The Sriwijaya was the first empire to effectively control this body of water and the nearby Sunda Strait. Iskandar Shah founded a sultanate named after this body of water, which fell to Portuguese conquerors in 1511. For the points, name this body of water where the British established 4 territories bordering it, including Johor. Incorrect. That's -1. That is correct. That would be 3 points. Question 27. During the Huguenot rebellions, Louis XIII's army managed to recover Ray Island on this body of water, where Cardinal Richelieu conducted the siege of La Rochelle. During a naval engagement between the Spanish and English on this body of water, an English force of 6 ships from Bordeaux attempted to defend its convoy, and this body of water was the primary site of Basque whaling. For the points, identify this bay, which is that is correct for 4 points.
Okay, let's see where that puts you, Sanjay. Okay, so Jay still has 25, Sanjay, you now have 19, Sriram, you have 17, and then the other scores have not changed, 6, 5, 2.
Okay. Question 28. During Soviet rule, this country was the site of a gulag for the wives of supposed enemies of the people in Akmal. In this country, the Sel Toksan was a series of protests in Almaty in response to. That is correct. That was 5 points. Good job. 2 questions to go. Question 29. The giant wild goose pagoda was built in this city during the Tang Dynasty, but was rebuilt under the Wu Zetian's rule. A 1936 incident in this city involved Yang Hucheng and Zhang Ishlang, Zhang Ishlang capturing Chiang Kai-shek and ordering him to ally the communists. This city's Lintong district was where farmers discovered depictions of the fortunes of Qin Shi Huang, the Terracotta Army, one of the 4 great ancient capitals of China. That is correct for 4 points. Final question. The Protocol of Oro Preto supplemented a treaty signed in this city that established the Southern Common Market, which was also known as Mercosur. What was the answer? Answer? Okay, time's up, so that's a -2. The Estadio Defensores del Chaco in this city was the site of conscriptions for the Chaco War against neighboring Bolivia. After the siege of Humaita, the allied side of one conflict advanced toward this city, the site of the Battle of Cerro Cora. For the points, name the city which was occupied by Brazil following the War of the Triple Alliance, the capital of Peru.
Sunshion.
That is correct for 3 points. And that was the final question.
Okay, we have a tie for second place that we need to break because Sanjay just got the 3 on that question.
Okay.
So we need to read the second extra question.
Okay.
So this is just for, well, we know who, yes, you have first place at
Yes.
29.
So we have a first place winner. So who are our 2 people on the buzzers?
So Sriram and Sanjay. So this question is only for them.
So everybody else hands off the buzzers. We only have them.
And there is no point value. So it's just like the other one we did is first correct answer.
Okay.
Wins the tie. No minus.
That's good. Okay, here's your question. An expedition in this U.S. state encountered indigenous people practicing the safety harbor culture. The British built King's Road in this state to New Smyrna, and Louis de Cancer's death in this state led to the creation of missions like San Mateo. This state's Timucua people live near the Suwannee River, and an expedition to this state led by Juan Ponce de Leon allegedly searched for the Fountain of Youth. For the points, name this U.S. state containing St. Augustine. That is correct. Congratulations.
All right.
Okay. So our first place.
Okay, that was a great match. So first place, and wisely taking his hands off the buzzer on the last question and smiling about it was Jay Vimuri with 29. Second place on the tiebreaker was Sriram Giridharan with 22. And then third place, shouldn't feel bad about it though, having tied it on that last question, was Sanjay Saya, 22 points. And then in fourth place was Mason Lee with 5 points. Fifth place, Hanish Gupala with 4 points. And sixth place, Srinivasan Srihari with 2 points. We all had positive points. That's also very good.
Yes, and congratulations to everyone. You all were finalists. And so remember for our medal winners to go to the medal award ceremony tonight.
Sure.
So